Hello again, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Focus Vandalia. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And if you're like everybody else around here these days, you're getting very excited for Thanksgiving. It is right around the corner. Well, as we're about to find out from our Fire Chief Chad Follick, there are some things you should remember before you dive into the kitchen to prepare that Thanksgiving meal.
It's the day that officially marks the arrival of the holiday season, Turkey Day. A day noted for fun, food, and families. Vandalia Fire Chief Chad Follick says too often it's also a day for fires.
About 62% of the fires that occur on Thanksgiving occur in residential structures, and another 32% of those fires occur in multiple family dwellings. So we wanted to make sure that you had some basic safety tips for the kitchen coming up on the holidays. Don't want your holidays ruined, or any time for that matter. But simply put is that there's a couple of key components to being safe during the cooking times, and that is, number one is never leave cooking unattended. It's a kind of a timely message as we just responded to unattended cooking fire last night that caused some damage to a multiple family apartment complex. So we want to talk about that. So never leave anything on the stove top, never leave anything in the oven unattended or that you can't see or immediately can get to if there's a problem. Obviously, if you're cooking in any place where you're using skillets or any pots and pans, you want to make sure that the handles are turned outward. You want to make sure that you're not wearing anything that a nightshirt or anything that can get into the stove top. And if you do start to have a fire or notice a fire on the stove top, the simple process of just putting the lid on top of it to put it out is probably the best option. If it's larger than that, it's either A, if you have a fire extinguisher very handy, it's the pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep at the base of the fire. If the fire is rapidly growing or too big for a fire extinguisher or goes much beyond this, it's time to leave and call 911.
The trend over the past few years has been for folks to turn away from the oven-roasted turkey and give deep frying the bird a try. And if that's on your agenda, Chief Follick has some simple tips to pass along.
Pay attention to how much the oil level. Pay attention to how frozen your bird is. If the bird's still frozen, it can cause an issue for you when you're doing that. Again, never leave it unattended. Always have some type of extinguishment material, fire extinguisher preferably. Water and hot grease do not mix, so that's not the extinguishment method. Never do it in the garage or in the enclosure. We've had situations where we've had them in the garage or in a Florida room or something like that. It has to be away from the structure. You never want to hear somebody say this, but we don't use those every day, those deep fryers every day. So it might behoove you to read the manufacturer's recommendations and the warnings in the user's manual that one time before you go to do it, because there is a lot of the same information in there and much more information, especially for your specific type of fryer.
If you'd like more information or safety tips, your best bet is to check out our website, vandaliaohio.org. They've got great tips to take you through the holiday season right into a happy and safe new year. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.